So
This
that
guy,
that was a good time.
one of
That
the
was good.
guys who got a 5-star Thanos, was definitely cheated.
Yeah, yeah.
100%. Hey guys, this is just the 2018 end of year review from me and Cam. We actually go through every single event, or at least most of them, that happened over the course of 2018 and sort of how everything was feeling and going at the time. Right off the bat, I get something wrong. Prediction. I tried to. I thought that the event quest was going to drop early in January, but they waited another week. So you guys will already know that by now because I'm getting this out pretty late here. But I think this was a pretty good, pretty fun recap of the year. And for people who've been playing the entire 2018, I think this will be kind of fun to kind of go back and remember all that. And for people who started in 2018, maybe towards the end, it might be interesting to see kind of listen to what happened earlier in the year, because it was a crazy eventful year. But anyway, let's get going with that.
We're getting the trials of whatever alchemist
Element
and the second elements, yeah.
Yeah,
On the second.
I'm pretty sure the arena schedule is gonna stick to the 7-day calendar like normal.
And then so we have the memory, the reflective crystal right now, right?
Yeah.
So
Monday will be the reflective crystal part 2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then the new champion will be coming on the 3rd of January.
Would it?
Yeah.
But the monthly event wouldn't be out yet, because the monthly event lasts until I think a week after the 3rd of January.
Yeah, well, I think that the new monthly event will launch on the 2nd.
I hope so, man. I really hope so.
Because that's the first Wednesday of the month, and I think that's when they normally launch these. Yeah. That's my guess. I mean, because the throwback crystal is taking the place of an old feature.
Old featured, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm almost certain. If they don't do that, that'd be like a pretty big break in protocol for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, should be good.
I guess we'll see. I hope they overlap the monthlies.
Yeah, I think they will. But we'll see.
Anyways,
I mean, you can't tell.
Do you want to talk about last year?
Last year?
Last year.
Okay. Let's do it.
Talk about a year.
Talk about reminiscing.
Reminiscing.
Probably my favorite year so far of the game.
I think it was the most eventful year for me in the game and in life.
Yeah, it was a big year in general.
There's a lot of stuff went down. I started the year, I think holiday season last year.
Mm-hmm.
I finished Act 5 100%. I think the week it was out, like one week after it came out.
I think me about the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Took up Hyperion to 565. First 565. I think I got Hyperion just because of the Act 5 rewards, and I wanted to, like, I was about to save for Blade. I had a skill gem, but popped the skill gem in Karnak, popped some basic crystals, and got Hyperion, awakened him with generic, took him to the 565. This is all in the holiday season. And then I 100% the Labyrinth in like a span of a week. So that was a lot of fun.
I had a pretty similar timeline. I remember seeing Brutal DLX's post of a Twitter post of a 565 Stark Spidey, just the profile. And at that point I was barely making videos, and I was like, okay, I got to do this. Like I got to be the first person with the Spidey footage. And I went for it, created a video. It was insane, and then started taking him to wars when wars were still full of 4-star defenders. And it was madness.
The wars back then were very different.
It was madness. I was killing people in like 3 hits sometimes.
Very different.
Yeah. That was fun though. Act 5 was great. I rushed it though, and I don't want to rush Act 6.
I like the rush. I like the rush back in the day.
There's one thing about spamming it and getting it done, but back then also I remember having so many revives overflowing, stuff like that. They've really
Variant took all of those.
Yes, they were really able to milk us down. So, yeah, that was fun. Finishing Act 5, 100%. Being one of the first people, because a lot of people took that slow, especially because it was the holidays.
Really slow. And I remember that was also during the Act 5 Legend runs, and that was a lot of fun.
Yes, I didn't even come close to attempting that, but it was
I
fun.
didn't either.
It was fun watching them.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching Brian go through that.
That was probably the most impressive
planning
and analysis I had ever seen in a game ever.
Yeah, it was very good.
He had you guys like giving, okay, you're gonna turn left, and then it's gonna be a Killmonger, and it's or maybe not Killmonger, but
Killmonger
hadn't been out yet. But you had the node and all ready for him, and then you guys had like champ suggestions, and God, but he used so many resources for that 4-star Thanos.
Yeah, well, 4-star Thanos is still at rank 1, level 1 on Dupe.
So pointless.
He's gonna rank him after he gets the dupe naturally, apparently. So that's Brian for you.
What? He's not gonna use. I have like Cosmic Awakening gems in this overflowing.
Yeah.
Like 4-star gems are starting to overflow.
He's definitely not gonna use those. He's gonna use those on Gamora and champs like that. Good champs, Gamora.
Oh my God.
I know he's a madman.
He's crazy.
And then shortly after, I think we had the 5-star featured update, right?
Yes, one of the most miserable announcements I remember thinking. I really didn't like that change.
I remember a few miserable announcements from this year.
This was one of the worst for me. I really liked the old featured system. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool for a 25% shot.
And I think this also came with the FGMC announcement, right?
You mean like when they were going to start selling crystals that FGMCs weren't always around, obviously. And
GMC announcements,
So they were gonna start selling these for 300 units. Everything was gonna be double, and you were gonna get 5 stars instead of 4 stars.
Yeah,
it's pretty. That if you were ever gonna buy GMCs, that was the time right at the start, because they devalue over time. But there's never a good time to buy crystals, in my opinion.
Yeah. So they basically took away the 25% chance to get a champion, and they introduced GMCs, and we all dealt with it, I guess.
Yeah. So I think most people who listen will probably remember, but just in case, the old way that featured 5-star crystals worked was they were tied to one single champion, and basically you spun the crystal and you had a 25% chance to get the champion you are targeting, and 75% chance to get any other champion in the game. It was just it included all of the basic champions and also all of the feature champions that hadn't been released yet.
Yeah.
And even at some point before, it didn't even include those. What were we calling those back then? We were calling them those champions that hadn't been released but were also in the crystal. It was like a backlog, or we would call them.
I remember that. I remember what you're talking about.
There was like a specific name we used to call those champs. Like, oh, I'll take that, I guess. If it's not going to be Blade, at least I've got the Void.
So it was sub-featured.
Sub-featured, that's right, sub-featured. Yeah. So they used to have sub-featured champions, but you had a decent shot at getting the champion you wanted as long as you planned accordingly.
Mm-hmm. And now you have the featured crystals, and they have like a 4% chance at dropping exactly what you want. And
it's crap. I'm getting 5-star shards way faster than I used to, and I cannot for the life of me get a champion that I really want. Like say I really want Quake, and she's been in the basic forever, but she comes in the featured crystal. Her chances to be pulled are essentially quadrupled. So yeah I will pay a premium for that, but I still can't get her because 4% is nothing. It's not enough. It's not enough. Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, so we had that. So we somehow dealt with that,
yeah.
and then we had the first two champs of the year. I think Sentry and Void came out.
Yes.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to go through the events first, or do you want to?
Do we want to go chronologically, or do we want to go through the champs? Going chronologically would be kind of hard, jumping back and forth with the champs.
Okay, yeah. Let's just go through the events first then.
Let's go through the events.
We had the Underdogs Challenge.
Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it?
That was funny.
It was like the bottom 6 worst champions as determined by Kabam via whatever data they have.
It was the voting. I think we voted on champions who are gonna be in like a $1 crystal or something.
Oh, like these are the champions that got the least votes.
Yeah, these are the champions who got the least votes.
Who were they? Magneto. Kamala Khan.
Magneto was tough. I remember Magneto.
Kamala Khan.
Magneto, Kamala, Iron Patriot, She-Hulk,
Falcon,
yeah. That was good stuff.
Who was the Mystic? It was Thor Jane Foster potentially.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
She's not worse than Unstoppable Colossus, but
no, but I think we had to choose from regular champions. So that was funny. They buffed these guys to hell and put them in a champion challenge, and we could get some 6 stones or something like that from it. I can't remember exactly what the rewards were.
Yeah,
but it was funny. It was actually like a pretty good hearted challenge. It was a good move by Kabam, I thought.
It was having a good time with it, I guess.
Yeah. Then the 6 stars came out.
Yes, they did.
The bane of everybody's existence.
When did they announce the 6 stars? Did they announce it with the change in?
No. Well, we have to give them credit. They announced it like way into 2017. Yeah, I mean it was like late summer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had so much time to get out of this game while we still could, and we didn't.
We didn't.
Starting to.
So yeah, 6 stars came out. The first batch of them, I remember, was pretty abysmal.
Yeah. Yep, it was pretty bad.
I think the 6 stars coming out also coincided with the buff of Luke Cage and Red Hulk, like the first batch of them getting announced.
Did it? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Because they were in. I think that the buff happened before, because they were in the first batch, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. So they said here's a bunch of champions. A lot of these are crap, but we're gonna buff 2 of them.
But there's Luke Cage and Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Some of the champs in there, they never got buffed.
No.
I remember my first 6 star was Iron Fist, and then I pulled him twice more. So.
Ouchie.
Anyways, this is getting depressing. Then there was the Michael B. Jordan challenge. I remember that one. That one was pretty fun.
I hardly remember it. I think it had some Avengers in it. It was like an Iron Patriot in there, right? Or no, War Machine.
I just remember the boss was a Black Panther Civil War, and
yes. Actually, yes,
I think that dude killed me with one hit one time, and it was fun because I was like, "What happened?"
I remember using Quake on him and having a lot of fun with that. Yeah, that was a good. I love those challenges. The signature stones. Oh my god, they're so valuable. Even now, a whole year later.
Yeah,
those signature stones have just as much value as they had
20 generic.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, 20 generics come with those champion challenges. The ones where they get the actors involved. I wonder how involved
or some of the ones that.
But they do tweet, right? Like I've seen like.
I think Kabam just pays them to tweet and
pays their PR team to tweet. They probably don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
Just pick some champions. Here's our suggestion. Do you want to use the suggested champions? Yep. Okay.
Here's some money. So
here's some money. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I like that.
Yeah, and they give good rewards. I think they should have a harder difficulty on them.
Well,
Uh,
they definitely need to have
like an
an option to go harder, right? Some of the
they should have a harder difficulty level on them.
right.
Like
You
an
mean
uncollected
like
level.
uncollected and then something higher than that.
Yeah, and better rewards for the new level.
Those are not structured in that way, though, aren't they? Usually structured in just chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, and they
Yeah,
just
just add a
escalate.
chapter 5, right? They're usually 4 chapters. Add a fifth chapter, maybe.
Do you know what I really like is in the chilled challenges where you enter and you pick one path, and it's
Yeah,
something like that. I think is what I'd prefer
yeah.
if they
The energy
restructured it that
requirement
way.
is too much, I think. Maybe have chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 4, chapter 2, chapter 4. So you have the current system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they add another chapter, but instead of having to go through 6 lanes and a boss,
Yeah,
make it really, really difficult,
one
but
lane.
have it just be 1 lane of
Yeah.
the same champions you fought before, but just 1 lane of them.
Yep.
Crazy health pool, crazy nodes, crazy attacks, and add extra rewards on top of the challenge for that. And people can retry that over and over again because like there's just one energy requirement and it's just like 6 energy. So,
Yep. If the maze has taught us anything, it's that I don't think anybody's gonna care if it's so hard as long as you make it easy to get to,
um,
easy to try.
I think people have some opinions about the maze. People, I agree that the rewards are not really compatible with how difficult the content is, but I don't think that's the
Well,
actual reward you're getting out of
I
it.
think, yeah, I think, okay, so I think that the rewards being low actually made it more fun because,
The rewards being low actually made it easier for people to pass up on it, pass
well,
up on
exactly.
pushing it, right?
I think that the best content is actually going to be something where the rewards are passable because when the rewards are not passable, rather than restart, you're just going to say, screw it. At least I might as well just spend the units to pay for this
Yeah.
and get through it because the rewards are super valuable. And if I miss out, maybe I won't have time next week to do this. I'm just going to spend some
Mhm.
units and get it done. And then you don't have fun
Yeah.
with it. But when
Yeah.
you're prepared to lose out on those rewards, then you actually start trying. And
Yeah.
when you start trying, you actually realize you can get the skill cap on this game is pretty high, and if you practice, you can get real good. And
Yeah.
it's so rewarding to go in and solo some of these fights, and
Mhm.
you have to
Mhm.
solo it if you want to do it without any items.
Yeah.
So God,
So I
it's so
think
cool.
I think that would be cool to add those to the challenges. And then after Michael B. Jordan, I think we had the biggest announcement of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We had Alliance War Seasons.
Yes, that was a pretty big announcement. That was pretty crazy.
And there were so many, I think, mixed reactions to it initially. And I remember season 1 was a nightmare.
Yeah, season 1 was not super easy, was it?
It was a lot of drama. And people retiring, people getting burnt out,
Mm-hmm.
people stepping down to lower level alliances.
Yeah, it really kicked the tone up for the whole war thing. Nobody took wars extremely seriously before this.
Yeah.
And the season was 2 months long.
Yeah.
And the rewards were insane.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, people as soon as the announcement dropped, I was an officer I think at the time. Or maybe I wasn't, but I remember the whole discussion being like, "All right, who's staying in the alliance?" Like it was just instantly people were just like, "All right, I'm out," or I'm because we were gonna push. We wanted to get some of those good rewards. The people who cared at least.
I think season 1 was the only season that we didn't get masters, and I remember a lot of the alliances who got masters in season 1, and I don't think they're even on the leaderboard anymore. Uh, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, some
because Kabam did things like lately, so they really stepped up their game.
Yeah, there was some interesting, scandals going on with matchmaking, collusion. Um, there was
People just
piloting.
like,
Piloting was a
man, I
big
remember
thing.
piloting back in season 1.
Piloting was a big deal back then.
I remember there was an alliance called HDP. I don't think they're an alliance anymore even. What's it called? HDP? I don't remember. And they were a Spanish speaking alliance. They had this one member who had a YouTube channel, which was fun, right? High level alliance war gameplay on YouTube. That was not really common back then.
Yeah.
So this dude uploaded every war, but instead of just uploading it from one account, it was like his video contained fights from all 3 battle groups, looking exactly the same play style, exactly the same aspect ratio, using the same series of champions, using magic very, very commonly. And shortly after the season, I think shortly after season two, they were docked, and like they were docked a lot, and all the videos were gone. So that was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, I remember actually doing a podcast with this guy named Moise VL, and he was in an alliance that used pilots.
Yeah.
And he had some insights. A lot of people didn't really know it was like a bad thing. A lot of people just thought, hey, I kind of suck. It would be better if I didn't play, if someone else played. And that's a good thing, right? And
yeah, and I remember that made rounds on Reddit too. Like, I remember there was some other dude who was in the alliance, and he was like, he's lying. He's
yeah.
It's fine to pilot, guys. It's fine. Kabam doesn't do anything.
Well, here's the thing: is it kind of was fine until they decided to make the entire game around the competitive aspect of the game. No one cares if you're piloting for
a non-competitive game, right?
Exactly, right. So you should. Nobody wants pilots to be existent in Arena, Alliance Quest, or Alliance War. I don't think anybody cares if someone pilots for story mode.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Legends runs, I guess.
Legends run piloting is lame too.
It's lame. It's lame, but it doesn't carry the same stigma. It doesn't carry the same stigma, because, like, it is one person completing one one piece. But yeah, the war stuff, it got out of hand, and the outrage was so real. People were just like, no, we're not having this. So Kabam pretty much fixed it, in their own Kabam sort of way. They decide to, start docking
war had
people.
A lot of up and downs.
They started docking people. They don't tell them who's the pilot. All sorts of crazy things,
all sorts of weird unintuitive things. Yeah,
but they do say they have some privacy issues. They might have some legal things that they're trying to work out. They might probably have a lawyer there telling them what they can and can't do privacy wise, and they're probably trying to jump through way more hoops than we realize. So yeah, seasons
happened, and the rewards were insane. Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was a tier 5 basic for the winners, right?
I think it was
1.5.
Maybe 1.5 T5B for the winner. Yeah, for
number
rank 1.
Platinum 1.
I think
was
FNX got it in season 1.
I think Platinum 1 was like maybe a third of a basic or something like that. Yeah, which is pretty dang good. I mean, they were not coming around anywhere else. So. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, they did a good thing in keeping T5B rare for as long as they did.
Yeah, if you were serious, and they're still pretty rare, I think. But once you get to rank 5s, it's you devalue tier 5 basics a lot.
Yeah, you can pick and choose pretty easily once you get to rank 5.
So, but at that point, if you were serious about being competitive in the game, you had to be in an alliance that was at least in the platinum range. I think you could get away with even being plat 2 or plat 3, but if you wanted to play this game in a competitive way, you had to be up there.
So that was a big change, big announcement. I think they changed the layout for the maps earlier in 2017, and then a few months later they announced seasons.
Yeah, and the new map sucked. Everyone hated it.
We still hate it.
We still hate it. The portals are lame. I think
get rid of portals.
I think everyone would love to see a map that has true crisscrossing and able to assist people. I think it'd be cool if every single portal went connected to every single other portal. Like you can just hop around the map at will. Why not? If you're willing to stay awake all day and move 20 times, you should be able to get around the map.
And then, so today I was taking lane 1, and there's this little portal that goes from I think the 4th little island there to the final island, and it's just one portal, and they're right next to each other. Why not just connect these two, man? I don't get it.
It's weird. It is weird. I don't understand it either. I think it's more just like the way the map looks, maybe.
Yeah. And then I think we had our first trial. The first trial event was with Black Panther, with trial of the Omnipotence.
Black Panther trials.
Yeah.
These are okay. As far as monthly events go, I think that they are somewhere in the middle, though. They're not the best.
Yeah. I like the lab style challenges a little better, but the trials also are easier.
Well, the trials are too easy.
I agree, but you should be careful of what you say.
Well, here's the deal. You throw on those essence things. So the trials are the ones where any trials is like, we have the elemental trials or something coming around.
Yeah.
For every day of the week, you gain a boost, and then on the last day of the week, you can boost to the teeth and basically steamroll enemies 20 times your size without even taking off auto fight.
And they're pretty short. They're pretty easy.
The one thing I like about them is the 6 stones. It's like 50% chance, right? Like every day.
Yeah. I think it's the same with labs too. Labs also give 6 stones.
Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty good to get some 6 stones. I'll take that any day. But
but I think I like the labs a little bit more because they're less repetitive than trials. Because trials, you have this initial 6 days, and in the initial 6 days you have, the same series of nodes on every day, on every day respectively. So like the first day is like, okay, these champs regenerate, or these champs have whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then the second day, these champs do this, and they have different defenders on them. And then when there's a lab and there's randomizers, those are very fun.
Yeah, I love the labs. Are the trials ones that you have to do all 4 difficulties?
I don't think they are.
Okay,
I
good.
think you can only
that's
do
why I think we
one.
like them. There's one themed thing that maybe it's later on in this list, but that you have to do all the difficulties to make it worth it, and it's crap. It's not fun. I can't remember what it is though.
Assassin assignments?
It might be Assassin's assignments. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Remember, you have to kind of go through all of them because you got to get enough. You got to trigger it or something like that.
Oh yeah. I didn't like those.
It's the worst. Okay, so the Black Panther trials, and then the Act 5 Legends were announced.
So
this guy,
that was a good time.
One of the guys who got a 5-star Thanos was definitely cheated.
Yeah.
100%. He's known around the high-level Alliance Wars because he's been recruited to practically every alliance over the last year, and promptly booted.
I would say one is a low estimate on the number of people who cheated to get that, but it's fine. It was just a Thanos.
Yeah, so if you see a 5-star Thanos at 565 in the guy's profile, do your due diligence. Just to say that. We won't say any names, but just do your due diligence. Make sure that they're not a cheater. Ask around.
Yeah.
You will get docked. I can't believe they gave those out. I mean, that was a big deal. People spent. Brian spent 20,000 units or something like that on that, and there's a couple cheaters who beat him out. It's ridiculous, but
so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and then we had
the best day of the year.
The best day of the year.
It was Blade Day.
It was Blade Day. Everyone got Blade.
It was such a big day. Blade Day was awesome.
Everyone got Blade.
Everyone got Blade. Everyone who wanted him got him.
Even I got Blade now. So
if you didn't get Blade on Blade Day, it was your own fault. Blades were raining from the ceiling, and you knew months in advance that the crystals were going to go away. So I mean,
but Awakening Karnak and popping all basics. That sounds pretty good to me, man.
So I remember that's when I finished 100% Labyrinth of Legends, about a few days after Blade Day. So my own personal Blade Day happened a couple days later. But I had like 7 crystals already saved, and then I gained another 3 from the Labyrinth, and I got Blade on my first crystal. And that was great. And then Hella crystals got bugged and came back for a second. While I was opening the crystals, and I decided to open like 1 or 2 for Hella. Got Civil Warrior and some other people. I like Civil Warrior, but yeah, it was 15,000 for them. And then I opened basics after that and got a bunch of crap. So I figure I might as well have gone 1 for 9 on Blade. But it was okay. I got the Blade. I got Blade.
Yeah, and
on Blade Day.
On Blade Day, everyone got Blade on Blade Day. I remember
everyone in our alliance. We had a guy
like rap songs, and they were.
So we had a guy who had this crazy luck. He's known for being lucky, and it's weird about this game that you can actually develop a reputation for being lucky. It's a little strange, but you can. Yeah. And
we call him Dreamin'. Does that.
Well, he had a 565 Sig 200 Blade before Blade Day. And he pulled Blade like 5 times or something the first time he came around. Just kept duping him, and then sigged him up, then Act 5, and then boom. And then he said, guys, just to show off, and he put a video and popped 1 Blade crystal and got the first max sig ability 5-star crystal I'd ever seen. Got Blade on his first try. I mean, he was showing off. I mean, he's like, I am so confident I'm going to get Blade that I just want a shot at 6-star Iron Fist.
That sounds so much like dreaming.
I was like, wow, this is crazy. Well, he got Blade. But he didn't get the Iron Fist.
Good.
Thank God. Thank God. He didn't deserve it. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, man. Blade Day was a big deal.
He was still super dominant back then.
He was very dominant back then.
Nobody yet, even Ghost, I don't think is as dominant as Blade was. Maybe.
No, Ghost definitely is not.
She's dominant, but she's not even close to where Blade was.
She's so hard to play, though. She's so hard to play in tricky situations.
Yeah, she can be tricky, but she's not. I mean, it's just a learning. It's a shallow learning curve. I think after a few days, you pretty much figure it out. But Blade was just spam. I mean, if you hit one side of the screen, they die, and if you hit the other side of the screen, you live. So it's just like that was it.
You live even more.
Yeah, that was it. And then it was because the meta was so mystic, right? Oh, when did Diversity get announced? Before Seasons? Yeah.
Yeah, before Seasons, definitely.
So at least down in my tiers, we were still duping a lot of mystics. And then Blade Day happened, and then the mystics disappeared. They went into hiding.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. I awakened mine, took him to like Sig 80 or something. You know, if he wasn't so popular, I'd love the character. He looks just like he does in the movies. He's got some really cool animations.
The meta was also so villain heavy back then.
Villains were really defense orientated. Yeah, I think that's because, you know, a big bad villain comes out and you want them to be the boss of the line of the EQ.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're doing now is just making them regular champions and putting the nodes like specific to that champion. Like Aegon's a terrible defender until you give him a persistent combo automatically going up, and then he's very, very scary.
Yeah, I think at that point, a lot of people who didn't get Blade, they kind of fell behind on an Alliance War competition because if they didn't have other options.
True.
Which is, you know, it happens, but at the same time, I think it took a toll on certain people.
Not having the Blade.
Yeah, on other people, not having the Blade was even more motivation to you know, push higher to.
Well, right around that same time, Medusa came around, and she was a crazy defender that Blade didn't really counter.
I think Medusa came around last year, but I think it was her repeat crystal.
Yeah, well, usually the repeat crystals when she becomes super popular, or when that character becomes popular. Her repeat came around before Blade Day. And so a lot of people said, "Oh, I'm not gonna get Blade. I'm just gonna go for Medusa." I don't have terrible luck. I'll probably miss Blade.
That was Brian.
Yeah, yeah. He liked Medusa. We had a couple guys who did that too. Of course, we had a few people super lucky who went for both. They said, "Oh, I'll just pop one for Medusa." Of course, got her.
I think it was also the Stark Spider repeats that came around the same time.
No, Stark Spidey was before Act 5. The repeat
before Act 5.
Yeah, because the reason I know is because that's what I did. I went.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I went for his repeat, and then Act 5 came, and
I'm just remembering Brian's openings back then.
yeah. It was still late in 2017 when his repeat came around.
Anyway, so that changed the game that day. You know, Blade coming out.
Yep, that Caban was like, they were like, we got to rewrite the business plan. No more villains, all bleed immunes.
No more defensive villains. Yeah.
Yeah. And they did. They
literally changed the game afterwards.
And I don't think they overcorrected either. I think they did pretty good.
No, they didn't.
I think they successfully found the middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's good.
And then shortly after, we had the drop race revealed, and I remember it was after the last Blade Day, but some people saved the crystals just in case they wanted to check, you know, what the drop rates were on the featured 5 stars, and it was like the actual 25% announcement.
Yeah, and the PHC rates were revealed to be 2%, and I'm in the camp that I think that those weren't always 2%. I think that the rates were buffed because I had a few mega openings before and after, and I saw a change. Yeah. So
Me too.
That was you know, a lot of people thought I was crazy. Like I remember getting some weird comments like, "Dude, don't be a conspiracy theorist." But like those ones, Kabam can change, and there's no real. I mean, it's buff. It's a buff. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a good thing. But the 0.4% for a GMC when it came out, everyone was like, "Holy crap!" Yeah. They were like, "These really are bad."
0.4%.
I mean, did they do like studies to see what was the optimal percentage to reduce pull rates but increase income? Because it's just so random. They must have done like studies on this.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not completely random. Maybe for PHCs it's random, but I don't think it's random for GMCs.
No, what do you mean random? I mean, like, how did they come up with that number 0.4? You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure there's some optimization, like some optimization analysis that went into it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
thinking. I'm
you know,
thinking there's some. I'm thinking they probably got like psychologists involved as well, because they had to announce them at some point.
yeah.
Just to, like, what? How
The
low can we
announcement
go?
itself uh was a great thing though, because they got basically forced into announcing it, which was great.
Yeah, that was great. I. It wasn't clear though. A lot of people were on the fence whether or not they were legally obligated to announce those because they were bought with units and not with
Yeah,
cash.
not with money.
But I
Yeah,
think that they just decided even that it wasn't worth fighting. Like, let's just release the drop rates.
and I don't think it actually dropped their revenue.
Oh, if anything, it went up because people were like, "Holy crap, those are low. Gonna have to buy a lot more of those
Yeah,
if I want to get the champions." Yeah, the GMC's, and there is just something crazy about having so many people open them and those screenshots come around and people. It's a little feeding frenzy. Everyone starts opening them.
yeah. Not just not people just opening them, and there's YouTubers opening them at thousands at a time.
Yeah.
That also feeds the
Nowadays,
frenzy, I think. Yeah, nowadays.
you have listed on your list in this list of events. Do we have when the crystal opening
When
whale
crowd
joined?
drop.
somewhere down the line there, kind of
Somewhere
middle
should
of
be
this
in
year,
there.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so after that, we had the content creators challenge.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
I thought that was cool. Not as much experimenting. I wasn't able to experiment as much as I wanted, just because they had a couple tricky fights at the beginning. That I did. I remember what was the one of the first one? I think it was like a Mephisto, and I didn't have. No, I had Blade. I don't remember who was the one that was stopping me from going in and trying that rocket like 40 times.
No, rocket was easy to try a lot of times. I think the first fight was Dark Spidey.
Yes, and I think I did not like that one.
Yeah, Stark Spidey is still a bitch to fight sometimes.
Yeah. No, but that was good. Yeah, I didn't like the Stark Spidey, but I liked the rocket and I liked the I did not like the Venom Starburst. I don't like the Starburst node.
Yeah.
And then but I think I would be okay with it now. But the Iceman was fun.
Yeah.
Dave's Iceman.
And there was a lot of drama surrounding that challenge too, and I love that rocket fight, and I love the idea of it, and it's funny because a lot of the content creators who actually were involved in that are no longer actually content creators anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know that fight would have been way better if there was more hit points.
The rocket fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to get a I think I may have had Sentry up by then, or I don't remember. I wanted to go for like, a 400,000 hit. And I wasn't able to do it because I kept killing him. That was the tough part.
That was such a fun fight though. That was such a really
it was easy.
It embodied Rocket because he's such a glass cannon, but he hits so hard. So now you can feel now you can have every champ feel like Rocket.
Right. Yeah. It was cool in that sense for sure.
Yeah.
So okay.
We had the end of season 1 of Alliance. We talk about that. That just sucked.
Yep.
We had the return of Rifts, and this was the first return of Rifts, and this was pretty similar to the previous Rifts.
Yes. So while I got off really lucky in the Rifts, I don't like the Rifts. I got a 5-star awakening gem from it.
More now. I didn't, and I don't think anyone.
No, look. I don't like anything that puts 4-star signature stones next to a 5-star awakening gem.
5-star awakening gem.
I don't care what it is. I just don't want that huge variation in rewards.
Full 5-star crystal next to a tier 4 basic.
Oh, 5-star featured crystal.
Yeah.
I mean,
tier 2 alpha next to tier
1 alpha.
1 alpha.
I mean, come on, just don't do that. That variation, it reminds me a lot of the greater gifting crystals.
Yeah.
And we can get to those later, but the just do it. Why do that? Why it's just it creates a gambling.
They fixed that in the next iteration of Rift, and people complain a lot about it. But I think the next iteration of Rift is a lot better than the first iteration.
You mean the micro realms?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have to remind me when we get there.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you're talking about. Okay, so then the Chaos Rifts, yeah, people got crazy lucky, people got really unlucky.
Yeah, which is, that's
typical.
old Riftism.
Yeah, and then dungeons came around. Dungeons, they were really fun the first week.
Yeah.
Not so much
people were
after
pushing,
that.
people were I think in that first month of dungeons we got 3 crystals. We got enough for 3 crystals, and now...
Did we really?
Yeah, and now we have dungeons, and we get
1 crystal every 3 months. Something like that.
Yeah, I think we get like 1 crystal every month and a half, which is just ridiculous.
I feel like I'm getting less than that.
Yeah.
I think it's
sometimes...
like 9,000 points every time the dungeons come around.
9,000 or
of the shards.
No, I think it's 12,000.
No, those 12,000 points every 3 days. But the points give you milestones that add up to like a few thousand.
Yeah, I think every 3 days you get 3,000 artifacts, right?
Is it that much? Okay. And
yeah.
So then you would get like about 6,000 artifacts every month, because it's only for the last 2 weeks. Oh, maybe
it's for the last 2 weeks. So
I think you get 12,000 artifacts in a month
total per month. Yeah.
So you get every 2 and a bit months you get 1 crystal.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Basically,
that's a lot of fun, right? That's a lot of fun.
I mean, they basically don't exist. Those crystals that you might as well. They might as well not even exist, because...
And they remove the potions and health pots and revives, like dungeon revives, from milestones, which is also a lot of fun.
Yeah, dungeons need a lot of work. They're getting worse and worse.
They don't...
with every iteration.
I think when they first came out, I was watching one of Brian's videos on how dungeons can be a lot better, and he recommended
I was going to mention this,
they should be more integrated into the actual game.
Specifically, he said arena. He thought that they should count towards arena points.
Yeah.
That is the best idea anyone's ever had. I mean, that's with regards to dungeons.
Get battleships from them. Get champions from them if you can push high enough. Get actual characters you can aim for from them. But right now they're just pointless.
I think if they could tie it directly into arena, that would be great.
I mean, I don't think they should go through the same pool as arena, or maybe they should. I don't know, but make it so that they actually.
No, but see, this is something you want to do instead of grind the arena.
Yeah,
but you have to grind the arena anyway, unless the rewards are exactly the same.
Yeah, make it so that it's an alternative, because people find arena grueling and boring. So this can be less grueling and boring if you find the right partner, find the right time to do it, and have the right rewards to aim for. But right now it's just like a crystal every 2 months, and not even that.
Yeah, I skip them sometimes.
Me too.
Me too. I can wait an additional 5 months.
And now the friendship bonus, whatever, doesn't work either, so you don't get that either. I was trying to do that for the title, but there's no point in that either. So what are they doing, man? What is Kabam doing?
Yeah.
Like, the suggestion was make it more integrated with the rest of the game. They made it less integrated with the rest of the game.
Yeah, it does not feel like part of Marvel Contest of Champions. It feels like some silly side thing they bolted on.
At least at the first iteration, you used to get potions and revives from actual solo and alliance events, but not anymore. So how can they, like, how is this more integrated with the rest of the game? It's like,
yeah,
might as well not exist. It's just a boring thing that comes out every 2 weeks, like every month for 2 weeks. And anyways,
I do like the time management changes they've made to them, as in it basically takes 15 minutes every time.
every 3 days, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that
But
bad.
still,
But
like,
it doesn't feel like you're
why bother,
using
yeah.
them wisely. You could be using
Yeah.
that 15 minutes better.
Yeah.
So anyway, dungeons came. Then we had Chadwick and Tom. I think that means I think that was Killmonger or Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So they chose some Avengers or something to have a challenge. We got some more signature stones. That was fun. And people got some probably more Legends badges.
Yeah, that was unmemorable, I think, for me.
I don't remember it either. Infinity War comes around. Trials of the Mad Titan were pretty cool. Another fairly easy challenge, but we got some good Sig stones. That was right around the time the Infinity War champions came around, and everyone was crazy about Iron Man Infinity War as a defender. He really was insane. It was so hard to beat.
Yeah, that was two of the most we had the first month of Infinity War, the Infinity Countdown, something like that. It was the month with Proxima and Corvus, and I remember the energy requirements for that month were crazy, because that was the month that had the rifts. So that was the month that you had to do all of them, all of the difficulties to get as many shots at the rifts as possible.
Oh yeah, I hate that. I'm not falling for that trick again.
Yeah, and I remember, like, there was, like, usually the energy requirement for Master and Uncollected is like 20 something refills, but that month was like 30, and it was just crazy, man.
Yeah.
And
do you know, am I jumping too far ahead in asking when the Thanos fight came around?
Oh, it was the month after that, right?
Okay.
It was literally with the Trials of Mad Titan.
Okay.
We had the Thanos fight.
Was that part of the What was that? Just like a single side event with two?
No, the Thanos fight was part of the monthly.
Oh, that's right. It was part of the monthly. Okay.
That was amazing. That was the best monthly event quest that Kabam has ever done.
It was fun. It was a good fight. It took some revives, but I didn't. I liked it. I kind of muscled through it when I probably should have quit out more than I did.
But, yeah, I mean, it was so easy to get to, like 6 energy to get to it or something. 6 energy, 9 energy to get to it.
Yeah, and it was very easy to get to.
The fights right after each other, and, people were like, look at this champ, he can solo Thanos. Look at this champ, he can solo the other Thanos. Look at this champ, he can solo both of them. Oh my god.
Yeah. Look at Blade, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Blade was very good, even then.
In that fight, yeah. That was the beginning of the end for Blade with Iron Man Infinity War.
Yes. That was intense. So that was awesome. I really enjoyed Thanos fight, and I like how they lowered the hit points. I think during this recent challenge with Thanos, seemed a little more manageable.
Yeah.
Did they? Yeah. They must have. It went a lot quicker.
It did.
Yeah. And so then after that, Assassin's Assignments, which is one of the most unmemorable things that happened during the year.
Oh my god, they were so boring. And they didn't give.
I can't. I still don't even understand them. You trigger one, your alliance mate triggers one. They say, "Hurry up, get into the mission," and I'm like, okay, no, it's like what up for like 50 5-star shards or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I just those were crap. I hate those. Sometimes I wouldn't do them just out of spite.
Crap. I think any assignment kind of missions have been crap. Like, I remember the Stark assignments. with Spider-Man characters coming around, and
Mm-hmm.
that was so boring and so crap and awful, just horrendous. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, why repeat that?
I don't know. Yeah, they definitely thought they might try it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
So then, they shifted all the milestones in the arena to put all the gold right at the beginning, encourage people to get into the pool.
People were really complaining about gold at the time.
Yeah, non-arena grinders are definitely having their struggles. I remember seeing a lot of alliance mates at 0 gold. It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's for the most part solved now. There's a precarious balance where if you were low when the gold problem was a problem, you're still probably low, but you're able to do your rank ups. If you had lots of gold always, you probably still have tons of gold. You may even have more than you had before. Someone like myself
the arena milestone shift was a good change. I think.
Yeah, I've always been around 10 million gold and haven't been able to go higher or lower. I don't know what's up. Mostly because I donate extra gold for loyalty.
Yep.
I always find my loyalty buddy wherever they are and make sure to not donate my loyalty because that stuff's precious. So yeah,
and then we had I think the most fun challenge this year with all the size matters nodes. The Ant-Man challenge.
Was that your favorite one?
Yeah, that was a good one for me.
Well, you mean not including the maze? You like that more than the maze?
Maze is not a.
Okay, this is a different category.
Yeah, maze is on its own category. I think.
Evangeline Lilly picked some good champions, and she picked some good nodes. She could be a game designer.
She definitely picked those nodes, and definitely not suggested pick a bam or anything. So that was a fun fight, and that was like right after watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I liked that movie, and like I had it was a tough time in my life back then too, so
that's rough, buddy.
I think yep. I remember I associate a lot of stuff that happened in game with stuff that happened in life, and I'm like, man, that was weird. That was bad.
Ant-Man time was weird
at that point. Yeah, Ant-Man time was weird. But yeah, that challenge was fun.
Yeah, it was. The boss was a who was the boss? It was a Hulk? No, King Groot.
No, I think it was a big Ant-Man. Was it not?
It was not a big Ant-Man. You mean like a buffed up Ant-Man?
A buffed up Ant-Man, yeah.
Was it? Maybe it was. With like some reflective damage and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I remember not having any trouble with it, but also having some fun with it.
And people were like using Kingpin, and they were having the best time.
Yeah, Kingpin, yeah. King Groot.
Because he's so big, King Groot, yeah.
Oh my god.
But that was a shitty month. Oh my god, that was an awful
Mostly
month
because they removed diversity.
Well, they had just a whole series of, bad decisions after bad decisions, I think. Yeah. So apparently, there was we had, in the series of event, there was the changes to AQ map 5, right? Which added sentinels, which people were like, this is just, too much hassle.
Do you know what's weird? Is that the sentinels originally, I thought that they were fine. The AI was totally different than the symbiotes. And then the sentinels learned, like Skynet. And now the sentinels are even worse than the symbiotes used to be. Now the sentinels will walk up to you, not blocking, and they're just waiting for your input so that they can beat it. They're masters of intercepting. Almost way better than the symbiotes used to be. And I don't know. I think
my biggest the biggest complaint I heard was that it's just taking more time to complete AQ, which I agree. It's kind of a pain in the ass to have to spend more time on AQ, and you don't really want to do that because it's AQ.
AQ's not super fun.
And then out of nowhere, I think a week before, maybe 2 weeks before, like in between seasons, they announced that they're gonna remove diversity, which was just out of nowhere, man. I that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard announced in the game.
Yeah, they
Like,
said this has always been part of the plan. Diversity was more of a crutch. We were leaning on it. Now, there's enough good defenders. You guys will be naturally diverse. Wrong.
no, you won't. No, you won't.
We will go back to 10 Medusas per battle group.
Or 10 Korgs or 10 Iron Man Infinity Wars. Or,
Could you imagine
10...
having 10 Korgs in a battle group? Oh my god.
Oh, that would be great, man. I would eat all of them, but uh, 10 whatever, and it was the game is still not balanced defensively or offensively. So have fun trying to take away diversity and thinking everything's gonna be fine. So they never actually went through with that because people were very vocal about that.
Yeah.
And I think there was a boycott that started and finished in no time. Started and finished with them just reverting the diversity changes.
Well, I think they just didn't think it through, realized their mistake, because it's clear.
It was so obvious. Like at the time, it was like the most obvious thing.
Yeah.
And some people were like, just wait and see what happens, and wait and see how it goes. That's just dumb. Don't wait and see what happens. you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. All of a sudden, yeah, those defenses are back. I mean, I would love to live in a world where we didn't have to force it.
Yeah, but that's not this world.
Yeah.
There's clearly right now
I was thinking today about one of my favorite champions, Nightcrawler, and how he starts off in a defensive mode automatically. And you have to do something to get him to be effective offensively for you, just by switching to swashbuckling mode.
Yeah.
I just think they nailed it with something like that. That is just the perfect design for a defender/attacker. Medusa, auto-blocking for your benefit. A great attacker, defender. They need to do more like that. Like Korg?
Or Iron Man Infinity War. I think neither of them are really...
Well, yes. Iron Man Infinity War's got some pretty decent utility, I'd say. I mean...
He's got pretty decent utility, but he takes forever to finish the fights.
Yeah, but he will kill Labyrinth of Legends Star-Lord faster than Stark Spidey will.
Yeah, I've heard that. Did you upload that? Or?
I found it. I haven't uploaded it yet. Well, it's not. It's already. It's on YouTube. The guy just messaged me. He said, "Feel free to use it," and I will at some point. I will. I'll take him up on it. He's right. He said, "I beat you," and he did. So I was like, "Wow!" Only by a few seconds, but it's a few seconds. So
that's very impressive, but that also requires a long fight.
Yeah, it's high skill as well. And so anyway, yeah, like I don't see any offensive use for Korg yet. I mean, maybe we'll find some, but
or for the champion even.
Yeah, I mean, it's like can't you just have 2 checkboxes before any champion gets released? I mean, any champion. Do they have some utility on defense? Do they have some utility on offense? Doesn't have to be a lot. There can still be good defenders and bad defenders, but like a champion like Ghost, there's no utility on defense at all.
Yeah.
Like what? So if 2 people rank up Ghost and only one is needed for Alliance War attack, the other person can't use those resources to put her on defense? I mean, it's just like, it's really frustrating sometimes when you're building teams with your alliance mates and it's like 2 people can't have the same champion because they're not needed, Oh, it's my Korg is on defense, so your 565 Korg is going to ride the bench, and you can't use him on attack because he sucks. It's like, why did they let that happen,
I feel Dormammu struck a pretty happy medium in there, but that was an older champ. he
Yeah.
has the the double immunity, the power control, which is like great. Um,
Well, there's plenty of champions hit the mark, you know. Magic's a good offense and attacker, defense and attacker.
yeah,
Um, uh, Bishop, I think, is probably pretty right around the middle. Like
yeah,
he kind of, he's right, he's balanced, you know. Probably Wasp, Killmonger, you know, tons.
yep.
Tons of champions. But yeah, anyway, so that's just, it's all about diversity, but you just need balance if you want to get rid of diversity. And by balance, I think maybe it has to include basically all the champions.
Yeah, and they try to think that the game is balanced, but it's really not.
No, definitely. Not. Tell that to the I mean, they actually had a challenge called the Underdogs Challenge.
Yeah,
it's so pretty self-aware right
they
there.
Actually released a champion called the Champion, and the Champion has a tier list in it. So
that's pretty self-aware, you know. But
like they're not dummies. They can't think that the game is actually balanced. So
will they update that list from the Champion?
No, I think he's just there to counter, a certain group of characters.
Attackers.
Yeah, and then because he doesn't include Omega Red or Emma for mutants, who are clearly like the better mutants right now, but he does include Iceman.
Yeah, it's true.
And Archangel, poor Archangel,
getting the short stick every time.
Getting the short stick every time, man.
Archangel.
Okay. And at the same time, when they had the Alliance War changes with the diversity removal, there was the overheating going on, and man, that was an awful time.
Brutal. I legitimately almost stopped playing.
Yep.
I couldn't play. Yep. I literally couldn't play. I mean, I don't know what they thought was going on, but people were basically kicked off the game. It would literally turn the game off on your phone. Turn your whole phone off.
turn your whole phone off, which is, it's fun, right? You play a game and then it harms your phone or your battery, and it's all good and fun.
Yeah. Once people started realizing that they weren't gonna, the only person responsible for their phone overheating is the user. Is then they basically they have no choice but to stop playing.
Yeah.
And that was pretty bad. I had two phones. One of them was not overheating and one of them was, but the one that was not overheating was like a work phone and I didn't really want to use it.
Same here.
So I was playing a lot less. Let's just say that.
So I just used my work phone for like sensitive fights or like Alliance War fights. And the Alliance War was going on at that time. Like Alliance War Seasons was going on at that time.
Mm-hmm. And no phone was 100% safe. All of them, whatever you call, is like overclocked a little bit to the point where the processor is just heating up. But some of them just dealt with it better.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it wasn't like an iPhone or Android issue. It wasn't even like a generational iPhone issue. iPhone X's were having problems.
No, the iPhone 7, which I think is what I had, was just horrible. I mean, it was about 5 minutes to shut down. God, yeah, and they handled it horribly. Like
they handled it awfully.
I mean, they did everything that you should be told not to do in that scenario.
Like everything a PR team would tell you not to do. They did all of that and
just
more.
Basic logic would tell you not to I mean, they just didn't take any of it seriously. It took them about a month to fix it.
Yep.
And I don't remember. There was some compensation involved, but it wasn't.
Oh man, the compensation was
okay, it like a few revives or something? I can't remember.
I remember I made this post on Reddit back in the day.
Oh yeah. I remember that post, and
it was a ridiculous.
You said
post.
The compensation should be like, essentially, everybody
just
should
added
get.
everything together, right?
Oh yeah, everybody should be getting tier 5 basics, tier 2 alphas,
Yeah,
all
which
this
is,
stuff.
the stuff that basically we missed out on. And
Mm-hmm.
so then the actual compensation came in, and that was more fun.
What was it again?
I'm trying to find it.
I think they would have. They have a few trump cards that they could have played there, and if I were Kavam at that point at the compensation, I would have just said, "Here's a rank 3 to 4 crystal, and here's a rank down ticket."
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That was a big problem. Here's mess around with your roster for a few days and distract yourself. That would have been what I would have done, because I would need them off my back.
So the compensation that I came up with was around 500k gold, 400k PHC shards, 6 energy refills, 19k 3-star shards, 22k 4-star shards, 90k 5-star shards, 5k 6-star shards, 3,500 units, 14 T4B, 23 T1A, 5 T2A. I mean, I knew this was never going to happen, but at the same time, it was pretty fun to do it. 9k T5B shards.
No, the best part about your post was the very last bit where you said, "This took me like 15 minutes to work out with a simple spreadsheet."
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kavam goes ahead and they say, "Oh, we're not going to even talk about compensation until we fix it." It's just like, oh, it's just, yes, maybe that's the case, but why do you have to say it like that?
Yeah,
it's funny.
They say things in a way that they think is right, and they think is calming for the players, but it's really not. It was just an awful time. It was just
it's not that the compensation is like, it's not that it doesn't make it better, right? All it does is distract you from the problem. So you have to make the distraction fun enough, Like you have to satiate the anger, Otherwise I mean, this game is addicting, and you're trying to keep people on the hook. You gotta kind of you gotta make sure it's a good time, not a bad time.
Gotta give them something to bite on, I guess.
Right.
But, anyways, and at the same time, there was the micro realms, and I think people were too angry to actually appreciate how much of an improvement micro realms were compared to the previous setup.
Okay.
Because micro realms didn't contain the absolute worst rewards that the old realms contained. Like, I think the minimum you could get from this was like 1,000 or 2,000 5-star shards, right?
I have no memory of the micro realms.
Yeah.
So I think that you said that they were more compacted. They didn't have the good stuff. They didn't have the bad stuff.
Yeah, they didn't have the two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good way of doing realms. I think, like the chill challenges right now, they're like a smaller scale, like scaled down micro realms. And you got like a bunch of entries into the micro realms. I don't think you could get the full T2A. I think like the best thing you could get was like 9k T2A shards or something like that. And
yeah, you don't feel like you're missing out,
You don't feel like you're missing out. You don't feel like, you can't really hit the big jackpot with like the 5-star awakening gem, but that's fine. That's just like 1%, less than 1% chance to hit the jackpot. How many people are gonna hit that?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this happened when people were very angry because of the overheating, and I think micro realms were a good change to the dimension realms. Yeah.
Okay. So.
And then we had the Gwenpool goes to the movies.
Yeah, wasn't there a special crystal associated with this, or?
Yeah.
Can't remember exactly.
It was a cinematic crystal, 5-star
Ah,
cinematic
that was a
crystal.
good
Yeah.
one. If you bought that, you got lucky because they whoopsie daisied and they had to send out another one for free.
No, this wasn't
Right?
that one.
That wasn't that one?
That was the Marvelous Crystal deal, I think.
When did that happen?
I'm not sure. Oh, that happened on 4th of July.
Okay. I think I picked up all of those. I picked up the cinematic. I picked up the Marvelous.
No, cinematic was free. Cinematic was free from Guampo Goes to the Movies. Yeah.
Oh, was it free? Huh?
Yeah,
So
it was basically an easy event that people could go through it with like 3 stars and get some free stuff
and get one of the champions that was in a movie.
Yeah.
So like Groot. No.
Yeah.
Groot was
in there.
Was he in there?
Yeah, Groot was in there.
Oh my god. Why?
I think the overheating issues started around 4th of July, because I remember that. And I remember 4th of July was the first time they introduced the 15K. Was it? The 15K T5B shards?
Yeah. You could buy 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a whole tier 5 basic.
Have you had that deal 3 times now?
Yeah, we've had it. Yeah. Well, it was
so
the 4th. No, it was twice. It was the 4th and then on Cyber Monday.
4th and then Cyber Monday, twice. And then on the 4th, that was the Marvelous Crystal deal, which contained, Corvus or, the most recently released champs. That was the one that they oopsie daisied on.
That was fun. I got Corvus and Domino. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, man.
You bastard. So that was part of the cachet deal, I think.
Yeah. So that was good. That was fun. And then everyone got a nice 5-star. They were pretty pacified at that point. Everyone was, like, okay, feeling pretty good now. I got some rewards. I got some micro roams. I got some Marvelous Crystal. I barely had to do anything. I think that their offers started coming in that were just a little bit better, a little bit more value for your units and dollars and stuff. Then they went ahead and did the Mystic Dispersion changes. Those were pretty well received by most people. A couple people pretty mad that they ranked up their Dormammus, but
man, my Dormammu still gets killed sometimes.
I'm sure. He's still a good defender. But there are some people that, they only ranked the Dormammu up. Some people did it because maybe they're not great attackers and they were going to support their alliance with the defense. And, that kind of sucks for them. But it was a necessary evil, I'd say, because Mystic Dispersion was a cancer on this game.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like the worst thing about it was the fact that that stupid buff would refresh.
Yeah.
It's so much better now.
Debate,
yeah. I still think they shouldn't even. I don't know what that buff. I take advantage of the new dexterity change.
Yeah.
But I don't see the reason why they need a dexterity on it. No buff. It's just gives you the ability to dodge. But whatever. You still have to play around. You still use it to play around buffet, or you still have to play around it when going up against buffet nodes and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. Refund was cool. The refund. We got a lot of loyalty.
The refund was huge. Oh my god.
I got like 500,000 loyalty or something, maybe more.
I got a lot of units.
Yeah, you spent units on them.
I got a lot of units for the Omega grind.
Yeah, then you grinded
the Omega grinds. Yeah, man, that was a good time. So then
it was pretty crazy how overheating the micro realms, 5-star crystal, tons of loyalty and units back into your bank account. Then my little symbiote. which was
My Little Symbiote
super
was
fun.
a good event. It was a good event.
It was super fun. I loved it. God, I didn't use the symbiote that much, but I did save all of my boosts for the last chapter.
Yeah.
I did everything else with just my normal team, which by that time was pretty stacked, so I didn't need the boosts or the symbiote to get through uncollected. But but then fully boosting that guy was a train wreck. I mean, it was
fully boosting that guy was crazy. I loved it.
It was really fun. It was so satisfying. I mean, you were doing so much damage, and
so much bleed damage, man. So much bleed damage.
His animations were so aggressive. A mix of some of the best animations they've done.
Yeah, like Sabretooth and.
It was Sabretooth, Carnage, and Killmonger. It was pretty much the symbiote in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that was real fun. And then that came around when Venom came out, the movie, which was, in my opinion, like, I loved that movie. One of my favorites.
And they did a buff on Venom. I watched that movie recently.
Did it make you laugh? Because for me, it was funny. Yeah,
a lot of good. It was a good time, man. It was a good time.
It was my set aside Infinity War, of course. It was my favorite Marvel movie of the year, besides Infinity War.
I mean, it didn't really. Okay, I was sometimes laughing at the movie, but man, was it a good time.
Yeah, it was just a good. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, I left that. I went in smiling and I left smiling. I was just like, this was so much fun, And I wasn't worried about like where Captain America was, or thinking about
where this is gonna fit within the
lore. I wasn't worried about any of that. I was just thinking, this is funny. This guy's hilarious, and Venom's hilarious, and the team is hilarious. It was good. It was great. Anyway, so the symbiote was great.
We had some more endgame stuff. I think they shifted a lot of the focus towards the endgame. Even until quite recently, we had the Map 7 beta, so that came out. Then we had a variant.
I think you're getting those.
Maze.
I think you're getting those. Yeah, variant came out way before that, right? Map 7 beta.
I think they were around the same time.
Oh, really? I think the announcement was because the beta just ended like a week ago, right?
Did it?
Yeah, it was pretty recently. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were variant and Map 7 were both targeted towards top alliances, and the average player is not even looking at variant yet. They're just too. It's just too much to take on, and there's not really a need for it.
I think there's a need for taking on variant, but there's also the fact that it's permanent content and it's going to be there forever.
Exactly, and just take it at your own pace. Probably, what I would do if I was starting out is check out whoever does, like Seaton always does. Like, what's the easiest way to get through this once? That's what I would do. I'd go look at how to get through it one time, take advantage of all those nice completion rewards, and then sit back and do it at your own pace. That was good. Those are probably the most rewards the best rewards per difficulty we'd probably ever seen.
That the rewards from variant was amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying even the ratio of how difficult it was extremely hard, but the rewards were so good that it was just ridiculous. I mean, the amount you got from it. So, yeah, very tough though. Very fun. Very tough. But I don't think it holds a candle to the maze. I think the maze is by and large the best thing about this game. I love it. Anyway, you're right. Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we had pretty much the repeat of. I think Black Friday, Cyber Monday was the first time they offered a generic 5-star gem in the cachet deals.
I got it. I spent all my units. It was a mistake. No, it was not a mistake. I would still be sitting on a unduped magic and 100 mystic 6 stones. I'd be kneecapped. But yeah, it was rough getting rid of all those units during the variant time.
Yep.
So we can expect more generics.
And it was more of a repeat of the same deals as 4th of July, which was, I think it was fine. Like, I think the value for those deals
it was better. Still... They included like a third of a tier 5 basic in that.
No, not the cachet deals.
You mean the
cash deals? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The ones for money. Yeah, it was a repeat of Black. Yeah, it was a little bit buffed, right? Or...
Was it?
Was it not?
I'm not sure. It was a good deal anyway. You know, I think that deal is gonna be good for a while.
Yeah.
Until
expect to see it again.
Yeah, until 6 stars maybe become more prevalent.
Yeah, I think we'll start seeing generic 5-star gems come around a little bit more. Just because I looked at my stats recently and I think I have like 4 generic 4-star gems.
Yep.
And I'm just like, where did I get those? And so I'm just guessing that 5-star gems are going to start doing the same thing. They'll start appearing random nodes.
Yeah, especially with like the content we're getting soon with Act 6 and everything.
Yeah,
they should be coming up soon.
So we got the the big spending fiesta. Then we had the Map 6 update.
Map 6 update was nice. Map 6 update was, there's funner, more challenging, more fights in there, and the rewards are relatively better.
My path didn't change at all, basically.
Damn, that sucks.
I know. It was like the only thing that changed was a Kamala Khan was switched out for a war machine or something like that. And I'm like, oh great, thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, buddy. The Degen pass in section 3 that I take used to be Yellow Jacket, Black Bolt, and then Scarlet Witch on Starburst.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's I believe
it's Iron Man Infinity War, right?
No, Killmonger, then Doc Ock, then King Groot on Starburst, which I think are pretty fun. I always hated that Yellow Jacket, who used to be in the place of Killmonger because he had the crappiest AI ever. Like he would just not attack into you, but Killmonger is pretty aggressive, so that's fun.
Yeah.
And you take an armor break champion there, and he's dead in a few hits. Yep.
Okay, and then so that's live now. We're all having fun with that, and then it's basically Christmas time, anniversary time. They had a calendar for anniversary. Everyone hated it. Then there was the holiday calendar. People kind of liked it. They did. What did they do for the anniversary? There were some deals, right? Or no? What the hell did they do?
There were some deals. There were some shard deals.
Oh right. What was that? The Christmas one, or is that no? That was the anniversary.
That was a Christmas one.
Yeah. The Christmas one had some shard deals. Those are pretty good. It was like 2,500 6-star shards or something. It's not bad. Oh, and those they were attached to units, which is always a good thing.
They didn't really do much in the sense of deals or calendars or anything for the anniversary, which is fine, Yeah,
I thought it was okay, and then well, basically here we are, right? I mean,
here we are, looking forward to 2019 with Act 6 and Fantastic Four.
I am looking forward to Act 6. Oh, we forgot the maze.
Yeah, the maze we talked about. So
we did a whole podcast on it, and it's out.
We recently did that.
Love the maze. I'm a big fan. So go listen to that one.
Yeah, maze is a good time. I saw some comments about me suggesting to take away the rewards. It was funny.
Somebody was just like, "That's crazy! Don't take away the rewards. We need the rewards."
No, you don't. You really don't. These rewards.
Those ones, they're not worth spending on. Honestly, they're not worth it. Yeah. So that's maybe not in Kabam's interest, but I think, God, how long can it really take to design that content? It seems so simple. Just throw us a bone every once in a while. Give us a maze.
Give us a maze every month.
Oh, yes.
With like different characters and different
my
nodes.
God. I wouldn't even care if it was just random. Just let the algorithm decide. Like, just give us random nodes and random stuff and make it crazy hard. And if you complete it, great. If not, well,
that's also great
because
you don't really miss out on anything.
Yeah.